Hello everyone, and welcome to the Weekly Report. I'm Jason Waldron with the Public Works Department. I'm here at the Gillum Road Complete Streets project. This project, which goes from Armour Road to 31st Street, includes improved pedestrian crossings and the first phase of a two-way cycle track that will eventually connect the trolley track trail to downtown Kansas City. The second phase of the Gillum cycle track from 39th Street to Brush Creek Boulevard will be constructed later this summer. The vision of the Gillum cycle track is to connect destinations and neighborhoods using available resources and funding. A cycle track is a protected two-way exclusive bikeway. The project will make our streets safer and more accessible for all users: bicyclists, pedestrians, transit users, and vehicles. Did you know that many traffic and street projects include federal funding, like the KC streetcar? Have you filled out your census yet? The results of the census are used to determine the distribution of hundreds of billions of dollars in federal and state funds, and we need your help to make sure Kansas City gets its fair share. If you haven't filled out your census yet, please go to our website at kcmo.gov/census for more information. Kansas City is home to lots of public art like sculptures and fountains, and now we're adding art to our streets too. Bloomberg Philanthropies has awarded a $25,000 grant to KCMO to create and install asphalt art along 3 Westport Road intersections. The city will be gathering input from nearby businesses and will solicit input from local artists to create this groundbreaking project. We want everyone to stay safe this summer as temperatures heat up. And we know your pets can't tell you when they're too hot, but there are things you can do and look for to keep them safe. Check out this video to learn more.
Hi, I'm Chris with Kansas City Animal Health and Public Safety, and we want your dogs to be safe this summer. Here are a few tips. Please, never, ever leave your dog inside of a vehicle. Even parked in the shade with the windows cracked, it can become too hot for the dog inside. Please, leave your dogs at home. Make sure your dog has continual access to clean, fresh water. A spill-proof bowl is a great idea, and make sure to change it daily. Make sure your dog has access to shelter whenever outside. This includes a dog house that provides access to shade. Remember, if it's too hot for you outside, it's too hot for the dog, so bring them inside. Try to walk your dog during the cooler hours of the day and avoid walking on hot surfaces like asphalt that could burn the dog's feet. Summer is the time for fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes, so give your pet medication to prevent fleas, ticks, and heartworm. Check with your veterinarian to determine which product is best for you. Consider having your pet clipped or shaved if they have a long coat. Check with your veterinarian to determine if that is appropriate for your pet. Apply sunscreen if your dog has a thin coat. So remember, follow these tips and keep your dog safe during the summer.
Thanks for watching the Weekly Report. I'm Jason Waldron with the Public Works Department. Now stay tuned for more videos about city programs.
Hi everybody, I'm Donna Mays, Kansas City, Missouri Fire Chief, and I'm here to ask you to complete the 2020 census. Federal funding helps firefighters and paramedics provide emergency services during disasters to KCMO residents. The census ensures the city receives monies for things like personal protective gear so we can continue to respond in events like the COVID-19 pandemic. This data also helps us make critical service decisions like where fire stations are located and where services are most likely to be needed. Help us help you by filling out the census. For more information, visit kcmo.gov/census. Let's make sure Kansas City stands up and gets counted.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We hope it will answer your questions about work scheduled to begin in your neighborhood. You might have received a postcard from the official name of the project, Blue River South Areas 4 and 5 Inflow and Infiltration Reduction Project, Phase 2. This means KC Water will be rehabilitating the sewer system in this South Kansas City neighborhood. This is all a part of Kansas City's Smart Sewer program. KC Water owns and operates 3 utility service units: drinking water, wastewater, and stormwater. Smart Sewer is an improvement program under the wastewater utility. In 2010, the city entered into a consent decree with the EPA. The goal of the program is to lessen the frequency and volume of sewer overflows. The city is making a major investment in the Smart Sewer program, $4.5 billion over 25 years. It is the city's single largest infrastructure investment. This project is one of some 120 projects to be completed across Kansas City under the Smart Sewer program. Why does it cost so much to repair and maintain our wastewater systems? It's old. Some parts of the system are 50, 100, even 150 years old and still in use today. As pipes age, they can crack, collapse, and become partially obstructed due to broken pipes, tree roots growing into the pipe at pipe joints and cracks, and debris in the sewer flows. The maintenance of our sewer system has been deferred for many years because most of it is out of sight. Another reason is it's big. Covering nearly 320 square miles, Kansas City's geography is larger than these 4 cities combined. The wastewater system is 2,800 miles of pipes. Stacked end to end, that is the distance from Los Angeles to New York. Why do we repair and maintain our wastewater system? It's essential to ensure the health and safety of our customers while safeguarding our regional water resources for current and future generations. To provide reliable and dependable wastewater service to all wastewater utility customers. When you flush, you expect it to go away. Last but not least, to achieve regulatory compliance with the state and federal regulations. Now, let's talk about the details of the project in your neighborhood. Now, this project will rehabilitate sewer lines. It will service lateral connections, which is the pipe that connects your home to the city sewer service, and will also rehabilitate manholes in your area. When complete, the project will improve the capacity of the wastewater collection system and lessen the frequency of sewer overflows. Here are the boundaries of this work. From 85th Street to 117th Street and State Line Road to Montgall Avenue. This project includes the rehabilitation and/or replacement of approximately 20,000 linear feet of sewer mains, 330 service lateral connections, 120 manholes. The work is scheduled to be completed by August 2021. During that time, you may experience noise from large equipment, temporary lane or street closures, and temporary sewer disruptions. You will be notified ahead of time. If during the project you have questions, please feel free to contact the project manager, Reza Zanuz, design professional Lisa Walters, or the construction contractor, Jason Atkins. Their contact information is also available online at www.kcmo.gov/smartsewer/BRS. Thank you again for watching this video. We've put together a brief survey to help us better understand how you'd like to hear from us in the future. Please go to www.kcmo.gov/smartsewer/BRS. There you'll find the survey plus the full project sheet for this work. Thank you.
This isn't about today. This is about the next 10 years. But this is something you can do today. You can make a difference today by completing the 2020 census. The census impacts hospitals, schools, and public transportation. It's more important than ever for everyone's voice to be heard. I love the African American community. On this nation's very first census, we were counted as 3/5 of a person, but we have always been more than that, and we continue to be more than that. And as a young Black female attorney sitting in my office recording this video, I know that I am my ancestors' wildest dreams, and I know that they would want the full breadth of our beautiful community to be counted and to be heard. Shape the future of your inner city by completing the census. Go to 2020census.gov and complete the census today. Share your future. Shape your future. Start here.
The men and women of Kansas City, Missouri Solid Waste Services work tirelessly to keep your neighborhoods clean. Through all types of crazy Kansas City weather to even a pandemic, our team, your team, never stops. Between daily residential pickups and weekends filled with neighborhood cleanups, Solid Waste Services crews haul an average of 700,000 pounds of trash and recycling per day. Our bulky service crews complete 250 appointments a day, 5 days a week. Our illegal dumping investigators work vigorously to stop illegal dumping in your neighborhoods. Through various partnerships, Solid Waste Services also maintain and mow 4,000 vacant properties in Kansas City per month. We also host 3 recycling centers, 3 leaf and brush drop-off centers, and a monthly tire drop-off location. The essential men and women of Solid Waste Services want a clean and green Kansas City now and for generations to come. Thank you, Kansas City, for helping us help you keep Kansas City clean.
When I got struck by a bullet, everything turned black.
I heard the 4 shots. That 5th shot went into my leg. I try to walk. I can walk 2-3 steps. I fall out. Is this it? Is this the last thing I'll see is the pavement?
It really happened. I thought it was just a dream. I didn't expect to be in a hospital bed for a month just because of a gunshot.
I can walk now, but jumping over this curb, I don't know. I used to be able to jump, touch the rim. Those things aren't gonna happen anymore.
My body's strength is still not to its full potential.
If you're a victim of gun violence, you should be happy you're still here. That scar, that's a memory, but you have other memories in the future. You have, a life ahead of you now.
Good morning. My name is Ryan. I'm an educator here at the Kansas City Zoo, and today we're in our library looking at different kinds of horns. Now, I've got a few different kinds here in front of me on the table, and today we're going to look at how different horns and different animals are both made differently and are used in different ways by them to survive out in the wild. Let's get started. So over here, we have a giraffe skull. Now, we know giraffes, they're really tall, they look really cool or weird depending on how you feel about them, but today we're looking at their ossicones. That's the actual name you give for a giraffe's horns. So when giraffes are first born, their horns are actually soft because they're made of cartilage, the same stuff our ears and nose are made out of. But as they mature, their horns start to grow harder or ossify into bony structure. And you can see that their skull is a lot smoother than the horns, which have all these little projections on them. One of the main uses giraffes have for their horns or ossicones is a process called necking. When giraffes get into the mating season, the males will size each other up and they'll start fighting each other. And that often involves swinging their necks and heads at each other to kind of show who's stronger. And these horns help add a little bit of extra weight to their heads. And this can even be fatal in some giraffe fights. So these horns are really important for giraffes to show who's the bigger boss out there on the savannah. All right, now let's move on to antelopes. So here in the middle of our display, we have a lot of different kinds of antelope horns. You can see some are pretty small, some are pretty long, and they also come in really smooth or really curvy types. And these are all adaptations for the different ways these antelopes live. Some antelopes mainly use their horns for digging in the ground. Others might use them for mating displays. Like we're used to seeing with deer locking horns in the mating season, different antelopes might do that as well with their horns. But for some antelopes, they use their horns for defense against predators. And those long horns are a deterrence to predators who might think it better to just leave them alone rather than risk getting injured or possibly killed by that forest of big spiky shields protecting those little baby antelopes. So if you look closely at an antelope's horns, you can see that they actually have bone on the inside of the horn, at least for part of the ways. But on top of that bone is where you actually get this keratin sheath that grows into these really cool different designs, going from maybe even like ribbed to smooth, or just whatever design fits that animal's habitat and what it needs. Finally, we have rhino horns. Now, rhino horns are different from both giraffes and antelopes in that there is no bone involved in the horn. Instead, the horn is completely made of keratin. So again, the same stuff that your fingernails are made of, that is what this whole horn is made of. Depending on the rhino species, their horn can be just a foot long to well over 3 feet long, and they also get a lot of different uses out of their horns. For some rhinos, they might use their horns to dig in the ground to find roots to eat. For others, they might clear away brush if they live in more forested areas. But the biggest use for rhino horns that we all know about is defense. Rhinos are huge animals, and with that huge horn on the front of their head, they can deter a lot of predators from ever coming near them. But if a rhino is spooked by something, they will charge. Rhinos can reach pretty high speeds, and when you have that much mass of a rhino behind a horn, it is a very intimidating weapon, and most animals know not to mess with a rhino. So, thank you for joining us here at the Kansas City Zoo and looking at our horn collection. Hope you're staying safe and practicing good social distancing. And keep looking at our social media here at the Kansas City Zoo for more cool videos about the animals we have. Thank you.